Hey guys, Brad Browning here, and you're watching episode 7 of my Ask Brad video series. And I'm going to start this video off with a question from Alexis Thornhill. Alexis says, "Hi Brad, my boyfriend broke up with me about a month ago, and being a sad teen, I begged him that night when he broke up with me, asking why and telling him to take me back. I've heard people say not to beg your ex because it will drive them away further. But by begging him that one time like I did, will that drive him away completely? And after about 2 weeks when he broke up with me, I used the no contact rule. But I don't know, nothing seems to work." Thanks for the question, Alexis. To answer the first part, you're correct in assuming that it's not a good idea to beg and plead with your ex, but don't worry, it's not the end of the world. What I do recommend doing is sending what I call the clean slate email template, something that I talk a lot about in my X Factor Guide program. If you want to learn more about the clean slate email, just go to breakupbrad.com and watch the full video there. I don't want you to get too discouraged though. It's not the end of the world. Just because you begged and pleaded once, it's not going to mean that you have no chance of ever getting back together. But you do need to stop doing that for good now. No more begging or pleading. Make sure you do check out that clean slate email template on my website, breakupbrad.com. And also stick to the no contact period. I know it may not seem like it's working, but no contact in almost every situation, including yours, is usually the best way to go. So I hope that helps you a little bit, Alexis, and best of luck. Okay, now let's move on to a question from Hassan Saleem. And Hassan says, "Hi Brad, our 1-year relationship was compromised 6 months ago and completely had no contact with her. But she texted me last night with all due apologies and regret. I told her that I don't want anything from her side, and neither does she. Note that I still love her. What to do now if she texts me again in a day or two? How do I respond?" Hi Hassan, thank you for the question. Appreciate you sending it in. I would suggest that what you need to do now is give her a little bit of the hot and cold treatment. So what I recommend is if she does text you again in the next few days, I suggest you completely ignore her text altogether. And so for example, tomorrow, if she were to text you, I would completely ignore that. And then if she texts again, so a second time after that, in a few days later down the road, I would suggest then go ahead and answer that message. But the best thing you could do at this point is to ignore one of her messages, just to give her the impression that you're busy with life, you're moving on, and that you don't really need to talk to her, that you're not desperate to, have a conversation. So I do recommend you ignore her next message. However, if you do ignore a message from her and then a few days down the road she hasn't texted you, then it's probably safe to go ahead and send her one of the text messages that I recommend in my X Factor Guide program. So just say something fun, casual, lighthearted, and just stimulate a little bit of conversation, get her thinking about you again, and try and make her comfortable with chatting back and forth. I know it's been 6 months since you haven't had a lot of contact, so that is quite a long period of time, so you probably need to rebuild some attraction and start conversing normally again. But definitely give her the hot and cold treatment in the short term and ignore her next text if she does text you in a few days. Best of luck, Hassan, and thanks very much for sending in your question. Okay, let's move on now to a question from Nowhere Guy. And Nowhere Guy says, "Hi Brad, what should I do when my ex fears committing to somebody? I noticed that she still loves me. It's hard to go with no contact rule because she keeps contacting me and we're studying in the same college. She's sad and jealous because I'm not treating her as a girlfriend. What should I do?" Hi Nowhere Guy, thank you very much for sending in your question. I appreciate it. Now, first of all, you say here that I noticed that she still loves me. Now, I'm not sure whether she's told you that or if it's just something that you've gathered from her actions and her words. But if that is the case, if she still does love you, then you're in a great position and you probably have a very good shot at winning her back. At this point, I think the best thing for you to do is to make yourself look like a scarce commodity. Make sure that your ex knows that you're hanging out with other girls, that you're having an active social life, having fun, that you're not desperate to get back together with her, and basically make it obvious to her that she needs to take action to try and get you back into her life before you slip away and start dating somebody else or simply just lose interest in her. So give her a bit of the hot and cold treatment. Don't be too eager to respond to her texts. Do try to apply the no contact rule as best as possible. You can ignore every second text. You can give her short replies that are sort of cold from time to time, and basically just, like I said, make it clear that you are a scarce commodity and that she needs to act if she wants you back in her life and to not lose you as her boyfriend. So good luck, Nowhere Guy. I appreciate the question, and thanks for sending it in. Okay, and let's move on to a question here from Mikey199666666. Mikey says, "Okay, sticking with no contact. However, the 30-day period ends on a day where there's a party which we are both going to be at. This is the next time I'll see her. Do I text her a few days before? Leave it until I see her in person? What do I do? Thanks." Hey Mikey, thanks for sending in your question. First of all, good for you for sticking to the 30 days of no contact. That's really important, and I think it'll really help you. Secondly, I don't think it's necessary to send a text before you see her in person. Just make sure that when you do see her in person, you make sure that things aren't awkward. Go walk right up to her and say hey with a big smile on your face. Subtly drop hints to let her know that your life is going really well, that everything's awesome. Possibly even, subtly hint at the fact that you might be seeing some other girls now. And just generally make sure you're happy, upbeat, friendly, and that things aren't awkward. And from there, once you've talked to her for a few minutes at the party, just make sure that you don't, stick to it for too long and no serious talk. Just keep it, like I said, light, upbeat, and casual. And then after that, you can use the party as a means to break the no contact. And then you can start to text her again more frequently. And you guys can get the conversation going and you can work on rebuilding her attraction. So good luck, Mikey. I hope it works out for you. Thanks for sending in a question. Okay, and that just about does it for episode 7 of my Ask Brad video series. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like me to answer one of your questions, just click the link in the description below to go over to the Ask Brad video where you can post your question in the comments below. And I really appreciate your likes and subscribes as well to my channel here on YouTube. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.